bad question. But this is it, right? Third time you guys were done. Can we all just agree to put your phones away? I'm here, you're here. So let's get what we can out of it. My name is Mr. Recchi. I teach at Mortimer Jordan High School. It's down in Jefferson County. I do teach AP Government at our school. I teach AP Micro, I teach AP Macro, and I teach AP History. I only like teaching AP because you guys seem to have brains. If I had to teach 9th grade, I think I would quit. I just can't stand them. Oh, they drive me insane. So this is the third class, and then it's Fiscal Federalism, which we're about to do. And I hope you guys, you're here on a Saturday. Get the most out you can. I'm going to try to tell you some of the questions on the test. I've been teaching a long time. Love the AP programs. Love trying to help you guys get college credit. Okay, it's very good. The stuff they put in here, it's for a reason. So make sure you're listening to everything. Okay. This is Alabama, so a lot of the schools around here, all you got to get on the AP Government is a 3. You get a 3, boy, that's college credit. You guys know what college credit means? Come on, give me something. Give me something. Well, it's less expensive. My son went to Alabama. It's $25,000 a year to go there. So if you can, we have a lot of kids leave our school that have at least 5 or 6 classes of credit. So what's 5 or 6 classes? That's a semester. That's $12,000. Plus, it's 6 months of your life that you can get done sooner. Okay. So hopefully you take this serious. The government test is about what? But to pass this one, some of my students like this one because it's just memorizing a bunch of words. Okay? That's what you got to do. But you got to know the words. So we're about to find out what kind of words you know. So this one is here. All right. Those are 2 big concepts up there. What are the 2 concepts? See, help me out. What are the 2 concepts? Okay, which one's money?
Fiscal.
Fiscal is, what does that mean? Fiscal policy, what does that mean?
Monetary policy.
No. I didn't mean to say it like that. But I always think about what you're saying. You can't say that. There's 2 policies. There's fiscal and there's monetary. Who's in charge of monetary? The Fed. And what's monetary policy about? That is money. That's the curve, right? Moving the money supply curve in around. So that's monetary. What's fiscal then? You got to know this specifically. This is because this will be a question on the test. It's actually a question on the macro test too. There's a bleed over between these 2. So the more you know about both, the better. What's fiscal? It's the spending, government spending, but also the other section. That's macro. You're kidding. It's tax revenue. So it's taxes and spending. That's what fiscal policy is. So then what's federalism? Fiscal policy, tax, but then what's federalism? So you got to know this. By the way, you guys have this last semester?
No.
You have it this time, and you're right in the beginning. So this is the longest section. I apologize, but I actually feel like I need to teach you this part so that we can understand the rest of this, okay? What's federalism?
It's separation between national and state.
And see, if you were my class, we would learn, if I say the word federalism, I want you to say the word division. Okay? And dividing what? Between national. So why? What? I'm gonna draw for you. I know you'd be in awe because the skills I have. Our art teacher, she gets nervous. But I want you guys to know these 3 things here.
Those are nice, sir.
Oh, I know, aren't you? I'll sign it and leave it if you guys need that. Okay. You know, because one day when I'm famous, yeah, it'll be worth many pennies, many pennies.
I know.
All right.
Where modern artists go, I don't think they have money somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
50 cents.
All right. Oh, let me give you a key. Okay. I draw these every year. I draw for my AP History kids. When we get to government, I draw. I guess I have to tilt it. Sorry, I didn't know I was going down. Help me. Label my pies.
National government.
Centralized. Very good. Good word. Good word. That's an example. I'm looking for one more term. You know this term. We're good. Another good example, North Korea. North Korea. Right? So this is unitary. Uni being what? One and just out of 10. So what's this one? What is this one? Yeah, by the way, what are we not in this country? You don't use the word. What word is not in the Constitution? Democracy. It's not in it. We're a republic. Anyway, what's the next one? Let me just tell you so we can move on. What's confederal mean? The regional governments have all the power. So give me the 2 examples that we've had of confederal government. The Confederacy. This is the South, we should know that, right? And then what's the other one? The Articles of Confederation. How did those work? They didn't. Both of them failed miserably. So what's that third one? It's federalism. Very good. So then what's the middle dot? What's the middle dot? Central. So then give me something else. Keep going. What? The national government. That's what I'm looking for. That's D.C. What are these dots? States. So then when we say federalism, I want you to say division of powers, because when our founding fathers created federalism, the rest of the world thought we were stupid because they took some of the power of government and gave it to what? To the states. By the way, this is government in history. The first government we were under when we were colonies was what? A monarchy. Unitary. What did we not like? Unitary. Then we went the other way and said, you know what, we want a government with no power. But then when did we realize that's not a good thing? This is my history teacher coming out. When did we realize? What event? What? Shays, the other class got it too. Shays Rebellion. We were so weak we couldn't put down a farmers' rebellion. So what's federalism? It's not this. It's not this. It's where? Middle. Or it's somewhere. What are we still arguing about today? How much power we give them? Is it too much? Or is it not boy, we're talking about it now because of that school shooting, right? Should the federal government step in and take the guns away? Anyway, so then that's those. Make sure you understand that. By the way, if I was teaching you, I would tell you, when we came up with federalism, we were still scared to death about that central power. So what did we do? How? What's now? Use your word. Separation of power. We took this one and divided it into what? So what are the 3? Legislative, executive, judicial. Then we were good, right? We felt comfortable. Checks and balances. Very good. So each one checks the other one. Okay? All right. Hold on. Let's go. And then what are state powers? What are those called? What are the different types of powers now?
Reserved.
What? Those are reserved.
Implied.
Implied. All right, good. So then if we take a look at this, if you guys know only one part of the Constitution, it better be Article 1, Section 8. Because what's listed in Article 1, Section 8?
Powers of Congress.
The powers. What kind of powers are these? Enumerate, but what's another word for them? These are not. This is the U.S. Constitution. These are what? Expressed. Or how do you know it's what does expressed mean?
It means it's physically stated.
It's right there. Why do you guys keep saying implied? The other part that you got to know, Article 1, Section 8, Clause 18. It will be on the AP test. What is that clause called? The elastic or the necessary and proper. What has it done to the powers of government? Stretched it. What kind of powers? All laws that are necessary and proper. So then what are those powers implied? So can we have an army? Can we have an army? What kind of power is that? Come on, guys. They're expressed. How do you know it's expressed?
It's written.
What's the draft? What's the draft? Why is that implied?
It's not in there.
But you can set, you get the difference, I hope. Okay? Now, if I keep, oh, sorry. By the way, just to show you, if I was teaching you, I'd want to, this thing about war, it's always with us, it seems like, because we can't ever get along. Peacetime powers, war powers. How many of them are there? Quite a few. That's part of keeping us safe, right? So then if I go on, Commerce Clause. If you know two things about the Constitution, Article 1, Section 8, Clause 18, the implied powers, and then the Commerce Clause, which is in Article 1, Section 8. They can regulate commerce. This is the South. We got to know this one. Because how did they make it to where blacks and whites could eat together? How did the federal government force us down here in the South to start doing that? They used the Commerce Clause and said you can't keep people from eating in your restaurant or staying in your hotel because you are impeding interstate commerce. What two things have given government a lot of power? This clause and Article 1, Section 8, Clause 18. Okay? And then what else is there? Oh, where does reserve powers come from? That's Amendment number 10. If it's not listed, it's not prohibited, then it's reserved to the state. So all state powers are reserve powers. If you're going to take this test, make sure you memorize some of the stuff on this list. What are state powers? Schools. Okay, public schools. This is Alabama. We're in charge of our own school system. We need to do a better job, right? What else is over there that's been in the news lately? The marriage thing, right? The Supreme Court has stepped in and said, no, same-sex marriage can't be illegal. So then they changed it. What are national powers? So just the federal government can do it. Is declaring war. Thank goodness. I wonder who we'd go to war with if we could. Right? By the way, I forgot to talk about this. How do you know federalism exists? How do you know we give states powers? The easy one is, who can do the lottery around here? Every state but Alabama. Why? Why do we not have it?
Because it's stupid. Because we're in the Bible Belt.
Actually, and I voted the 2 times. I'm not from Alabama. I'm married into Alabama. So, but I voted twice against it. And it was not for any other reason than my uncle was a sheriff, and he said that they researched it. Everywhere you add gambling, divorce rates, family breakups, indebtedness, people losing their house, all the bad stuff increases tremendously. But they never talk about that, but all they want to throw out there is, oh, you can go to college for free. So there's some negatives with it, but I'm also a hypocrite. Because had it passed, that would have bought me a lottery ticket. But I would have bought just one. I wouldn't have taken my paycheck and bought a bunch of lottery tickets. So I'm a hypocrite. But I did vote no twice. And if it comes up again, guess what? I'll vote no again. So I'm going to call me stupid. That hurt my feelings. It's okay though. I'll get over it. You guys know these then, okay? So let's stop right there. Wait. Now, federalism is what do you do with federalism? Divide the powers. So what are the 2 types of federalism? Help me here, help me, come on. Dual is what cake? Layer. Very good, layer. And then what does that mean? That means the South does its thing, which helps explain what went on down here. And every state does their thing. What's the next type? Cooperative. What's that cake? So then it gets kind of convoluted a little bit, okay? Make sure you know those. What's fiscal federalism? That's what this whole section is about. How does the federal government get the states to do its bidding? Here's the money, but then do they just give us money?
No, that goes grant.
But what does that mean?
We have to spend it on certain stuff.
You have to do what they tell you. So how does the federal government control the states? here's some cash. If you want it, you've got to do these things for it. And so the states they're really drug addicts, the states are. What's their drug?
Money.
So then whatever the federal government says,
Will do.
they'll do. Why is it that every state has .08 as the DUI? Because to get road money from the federal government, you've got to make the DUI .0. So that's what fiscal federalism is. Now, two more and then I'll let you guys get started and I can shut up. What does deficit mean?
Spending more than
Spending money you make.
Spending more than you're making. That's very good. So then what's a deficit? How much we have?
In debt.
Oh, you see, I was waiting for... Deficit and debt are, you've got to separate those two. They're not the same. Deficit is how much you overspend in 1 year. What's the debt?
how much overtime? Like overall.
All of the deficits added together. What is our current debt?
Isn't it like 20 trillion?
20.5 trillion. What's our current deficit for this year supposed to be? Maybe 900 billion. 20.5 trillion. It's a lot. That's all you gotta say. It's a lot. All right. Now, go ahead and open up your books, your little handouts, and see if I've given you enough of the terms to answer. Fill in the blank. Fill in the blank. Fill in the blank. And if you get stuck,